Hello students, myself Priyanka Goswami. In this session, we are going to study the second part of the chapter DC chopper of the subject Power Electronics and Drives. Overview. Here we will study the types of chopper circuits, commutation methods for chopper and Jones chopper. Types of chopper circuits. Power semiconductor devices that are used in chopper circuits are unidirectional devices. Polarities of output voltage and the direction of output current are restricted. A chopper can operate in any of the four quadrants forms the basis of their classification as type A chopper, type B chopper, type C chopper and type D chopper. Now we will study type A chopper or first quadrant chopper. When chopper is on, output voltage equals to Vs or source voltage and current flows in the arrow direction. When chopper is off, output voltage equals to 0, but output current in the load continues flowing in the same direction through the freewheeling diode. Thus, average voltage and current are always positive. This is shown by the hashed area in the first quadrant. The power flow in A-type chopper is always from source to load. This chopper is also called step-down chopper, as output voltage is always less than the source voltage. Now, type B chopper or second quadrant chopper. Here, first note that load must contain a DC source E, like a battery, in this chopper. When chopper is on, output voltage equals to 0, but load voltage E drives current through the L and chopper. Inductance L stores energy during T-on of chopper. Then or when chopper is off, output voltage equals to E plus L into didt. That exceeds the source voltage Vs. As a result, diode is forward biased and begin conduct, thus allowing power to flow load to source. Chopper may be on or off, current always flows out of the load. Output current is negative. Since output voltage is always positive, as load voltage or output voltage equals to E plus L didt, which is more than the supply voltage. So that is why it is called step up chopper. Now type C chopper or two quadrant type A chopper. Here output voltage is always positive because the presence of diode across the load. When chopper CH2 is on or freewheeling diode conducts, output voltage equals to 0. When chopper 1 is on or diode D2 conducts, output voltage equals to source voltage. The load current reverses its direction. If load current flows in the arrow direction, which are shown in the figure, that load current I0 is positive when chopper 1 is on or freewheeling diode conducts. Load current is negative if chopper CH2 is on or D2 conducts. So, chopper 1 and freewheeling diode operate together as A-type chopper in first quadrant. Chopper 2 and diode D2 operate together as type B chopper in second quadrant. Therefore, here power flow may be from source to load or first quadrant or load to source or second quadrant. This type of chopper is used for motoring and regenerative braking of DC motor. Operating region is shown in the figure by hashed area in first and second quadrant. Now we will study the type D chopper or 2-quadrant type B chopper. Here output voltage equals to source voltage when both CH1 and CH2 are on, and output voltage equals to minus source voltage when both CH1 and CH2 are off but both diodes D1 and D2 are conduct. When T on greater than T off, V0 and I0 or output voltage and output current are positive, chopper operation in first quadrant is obtained and power flows from source to load. When T off greater than T on, output voltage is negative but output current is positive. Chopper operation fourth quadrant is obtained. Power flow from source to load to source. Average value of output voltage equals to supply voltage into T on minus supply voltage into T off by T, or Vs into T on minus T off by T. In case T on greater than T off, output voltage is positive. In case T on less than T off, output voltage is negative. Or when T on equals to T off, output voltage equals to 0. Now commutation method for choppers. Now what is commutation method? The process of opening or turning off a conducting thyristor is called commutation. There are two methods of commutation: forced commutation and load commutation. Now forced commutation. In forced commutation, external elements L and C are used to turn off a conducting thyristor which do not carry the load current continuously. Forced commutation can be achieved in the two ways: current commutation and voltage commutation. Now, in case of current commutation, here an external pulse of current is applied in the reverse direction through the conducting thyristor, which is greater than the load current. When the current pulse attains a value equal to the load current, net pulse current through thyristor becomes 0 and the device is turned off. This current pulse is generated by initially charged capacitor. An important feature of current commutation is the connection of a diode in antiparallel with the main thyristor, so that the voltage drop across the diode reverse biases the main thyristor. Now voltage commutation. Now what is voltage commutation? In case of voltage commutation, a conducting thyristor is commutated by the application of a pulse of large reverse voltage. This reverse voltage is usually applied by switching a previously charged capacitor. The sudden application of reverse voltage across the conducting thyristor reduces the anode current to 0 rapidly. Then the presence of reverse voltage across the thyristor helps in the completion of turn-off process. In both voltage and current commutation, commutations is initiated by getting an auxiliary thyristor. Now load commutation. In load commutation, a conducting thyristor is turned off when load current flowing through a thyristor either becomes 0 due to the nature of load circuit parameters or is transferred to another device from the conducting thyristor. Now we will study the circuit operation of Jones chopper. Figure shows the basic power circuit of Jones chopper. Here the given polarities in the diagram all are positive. T1 is the main thyristor and T2 is the auxiliary thyristor. This chopper circuit is the another example of class D commutation. In this circuit, SCR T1 is the main thyristor and T2 is the auxiliary thyristor. Here SCR T2, capacitor, D2 and auto transformer forms the commutating circuit for the main thyristor T1. Therefore, the special feature of this circuit is step transformer T through a portion of which the load current flows. Here L1 and L2 are closely coupled so that the capacitor always gets sufficient energy to turn off the main thyristor T1. If the main thyristor T1 is on for a long period, then the motor will reach the maximum steady state speed, which is determined by the battery voltage, the motor and the mechanical load characteristics. If thyristor T1 is off, motor will not rotate. Now, if the thyristor T1 is alternatively on and off in a cyclic manner, the motor will rotate at some speed in between maximum and 0. Let us assume the initial capacitor C is charged to a voltage EDC with the polarity as shown in the figure. Now thyristor T1 is triggered at the time t equals to T1. Now current flows through the path CA, T1, L2, T1, CB and capacitor C charges to opposite polarity. That is, plate B is positive and plate A is negative. Now diode D1 prevents further oscillation of the resonating L2C circuit. Hence, the capacitor retains its charge until thyristor T2 is triggered. Now, figure shows the capacitor voltage waveform are drawn at the bottom plate B of the capacitor. Now, at time t equals to T3, thyristor T2 is triggered. Current flow through the path CA, T2, T1 and CA. Therefore, discharge of capacitor reverse biases thyristor T1 and turn it off. The capacitor again charges up with plate A positive and thyristor T2 turns off because the current through it falls below the holding current value when capacitor C is recharged. The cycle repeats when thyristor T1 is again triggered. The use of auto transformer ensures that whenever current is delivered from DC source to load, a voltage is induced in L2 in the correct polarity for changing the commutating capacitor to a voltage which is higher than EDC. So, the auto transformer measurably enhances the reliability of the circuit. At t equals to T5, the bottom plate B of the capacitor C reaches a peak value. Since at T5 the capacitor is charged to a voltage which is greater than EDC. So diode D1 is again forward biased. Now capacitor C discharges to a value which is lower than EDC. The time duration T3 to T4 is the circuit turn off time which is presented to thyristor T1. For the next cycle, same sequence of the steps are repeated. Thank you.